Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Kiki's Kitchen. It has been a long time and I feel like I'm kind of getting back to normal, although I will tell you, it zaps your energy. So while I'm feeling better, I'm still a little on the slow side. So I am going to actually make some dinner tonight. I'm going to show you the entire dinner, so you're kind of going to get a twofer in this one. I'm making some Asian chicken and some brown rice. I have my big cast iron going over here, and I've melted a stick of butter in it. And over here, because I'm making this more of an Asian rice versus a brown rice, which is what I use a lot of times, I'm going to put a little bit of finely diced carrot in here. And so what we're having is we're going to have chicken thighs and with a little Asian flair to them, and some brown rice. You know, I cannot tell a lie. I did try to make you guys a video yesterday of cookies, but I truly didn't really like the way the cookies came out. So if I don't like it, you don't get it. That's the truth. So we're going to try again today and see if I can't get you something. I'll have to see if I can't do a live here in maybe one day this week, just to get back in touch with everybody. Seems like it's been so long. So I've got that carrot diced up small, and I'm dicing up this onion, and in it's gonna go with the carrot, as well as some rice. But we're gonna do one thing at a time. So let me, and you've seen me do this a million times, but I take it almost to the edge and cut it down several times this way. And then put it flat on its face. Move that. And cut back into it, almost to the back, but not quite. Several times. And then move it around this way. Get a nice even dice on it then. And it goes much quicker. Then that last piece that I didn't cut all the way through to, keep the nose of your knife on your board. Watch this, hands. So that you're not cutting into it. And in that's going to go. Give those a quick stir here in a second. To that, I'm going to add a 1.25 cups of rice. White rice, plain old white rice. Heat it just a little bit. So there's a cup. And a 1/4-ish. So I want to get all of this nicely coated with the butter. And it's going to, and I want to brown this rice as along with my carrots and my onions until it gets nice and toasted. Nice and toasted. Let me get this out of the way. Bear with me one quick second. Oh, I'm telling you, that COVID really can knock you for a loop. Make no mistake, it truly can. So these are my chicken, my chicken thighs, and they are big boys. And these are bone-in, skin-on. You can use skinless, boneless. You can use chicken breasts if you want to. Actually, you can use pork chops if you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking all of these out. and I want to cut a slice into them. So this is all going to get going at the same time, right? So I've got my chicken or my rice. Hang on one second. My rice browning, and it's going to go into the oven for an hour once this is all done. So I will then have my chicken ready to go because it's going to go into the oven as well. So this is going to brown off, and then I'm going to put it in this oil pan, and I'm going to add some beef stock to it, and it'll be ready to go. Then I will wipe this pan out, and this will be the pan that I cook my chicken thighs in, and they will both go in the oven at the same time, and they will both come out at the same time. So while that's doing its thing, I've just flattened it all out here because I want it to get nice and brown. I want everything in here, the onions, the carrots, and the rice to all brown. While that's happening, I'm going to get going on my chicken, get it prepared. So I'm going to get out another foil pan because they're awesome. And clear some space here. Let's get a little space. Go. Now this, I'm just using this to prep this, so it has so I have some place for the chicken to land, right? So what I want to do with this out of the way, is I want to cut down into my chicken thighs, right next to the bone. So you see the bone here, ding, ding, ding. I want to cut on each side of that bone. I want to do it in midair though. So I want to cut right next to that bone on either side of that bone. See that? And what that does is it helps get that heat down into the side of the chicken, and it helps cook it to the bone quicker. You know, with thighs, a lot of times, you know, getting it to cook to the bone, God, these things are huge. Look how big that thing is. But I'll tell you, thighs are truly, my husband and I, this is our cut of chicken. We like that. But if you get it down and cut way down, right down into it, it really helps it. Now let's see. Okay, can you see let me see if that will help a little bit. My rice is beginning to get a nice brown on it. Really important with this rice to get a good toast on it. Spread it out again. Finish up with my chicken. And this is what you want to do. You want to look at what your finished product is going to be, what your timeline is on your finished product, so that you can time everything so that it comes out, you know, at the same time. And you want to be able to minimize your pots and pans to the best of your ability. So, like I said, I'm going to use this one pan, and it's going to do double duty for me. All right, that looks good. Get this nasty stuff out of here. My hands. I'm coming. Bear with me. All right. We're getting there with this for sure. I've got my oven preheating at 350. So once I pull this off and put this into my foil pan, I'm just gonna let it sit there until my chicken is done. What I'm gonna do with my chicken is, I'm gonna put some oil in my pan. I'm gonna give it some salt, pepper, garlic, give it a little seasoning on it. And then I'm gonna cook it skin down and get it crispy for about 3-4 minutes. Flip it, do the other side for 4 or 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna take this pan and put it, and then I'm gonna pour my sauce over it, which is a very simple sauce, and put it all into the oven for about an hour. And then I will take it out and thicken up my sauce, and it'll be yummy. Okay, so let me let that continue to brown, and as soon as it's ready to go, I'll bring you back. Okay, so now it's all nice and toasty brown. Can you see that? And I'm gonna just kind of spread it out here. Into that, I am adding 2.5 cups of beef stock. Actually, I used the Better Than bouillon, but you can use, when you're making just regular brown rice, I tell you to use it 1 can undiluted of beef consomme, Campbell's Beef Consume, and 1 of their beef stock. But if all you have in your cabinet, which is what I have in my cabinet, is the beef stock, then you can use that. If you have consomme, great. So now this is ready to go. It will go in my oven, 350 for 1 hour uncovered. So let's just set that aside for now. So now what I want to get, and I should have, but I didn't, is some oil. And let me pull my spices. Obviously, I'm out of practice. Okay, so now we're going to get ready with with our chicken. So I am just going to give it a light sprinkling of kosher salt because we're going to use soy sauce in here, which of course, as you know, is salty. And I'm going to get, again, a little bit of light pepper on here because I am going to use red pepper flake. You don't have to, but I'm going to use it because we like it spicy. So I've got oil in the bottom of my cast iron here, and it looks like it's ready to go. So I'm going to put the skin side down, and it's not ready to go. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, we got a little sizzle. We're good. So these things are huge. Get some heat going on them. We'll get every one of these things in here, I promise you that. Because I'm just going for a brown. All right. So while I got that side up, I'm gonna let it rain some, and I know you can't see that. I just realized that. So, there we go. Let it rain a little bit of kosher salt and pepper. So while that browns, we're gonna make our sauce. I'm gonna go back to my original cup here. I'm going to use, now if you don't use wine, you can use beef stock in place of the wine. So, because I have so many, I'm doubling my recipe. So I want a cup of red wine, or a cup of, or if you don't use red wine, you can use sherry. If you don't use sherry, you can use beef stock. Not a problem at all. and a cup of soy sauce. And a half a cup of brown sugar. And I know red pepper flakes, which is an option. But I just wanted to see what it told me. Oh, this is minced garlic, fresh minced garlic. And that's about 3 cloves. And that goes. And I've got 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. And in that goes. So I'm just going to stir that all up. And that's, oh, and I want a little red pepper flake, which is completely optional. But like I said, we like it spicy. So I'm putting in a little bit of that. Yep, got me. All right, so guys, I'm going to sit this aside. I'm going to turn that down. I'll come back to you when this is ready to turn, and because it's nice and brown. So I'll be back. Okay, so it's nice and golden brown. You can see that. And I just flipped it. So I'm going to go another maybe 3-4 minutes on the other side. And then I'm going to take it out of here. I've washed my foil pan that I had it in there for a second. And I'm going to set it back in here and drain off some of that excess grease. I'm going to put it back in here, dump the sauce on it, and put it in the oven. So that's as simple as that gets. So I'll be back in about 4 minutes. Okay, so I've taken it all out and drained out my excess oil. So now what I'm going to do, get it turned back on here again, is I'm going to add my sauce and scrape up the bits from the bottom of my chicken. So here's my sauce, which we made up a little earlier. Put that in there. Actually, that's not what I want. I want this because I want to scrape up the bottom. All of my good bits from the bottom. And you know, if you work with cast iron, you know every inch of it gets hot, including the handle. So I'm just scraping up the bottom, deglazing it. All that goodness from the bottom is good flavor. There we go. Get everything from in here. Looks fabulous. And now I'm going to just add my chicken back in. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it down skin side and then flip it because I just want to make sure that I get some coverage on both sides of it. Now, I'm going to set the timer on this for 30 minutes. And at 30 minutes time, I'll probably come in and baste it up just a little bit. You don't have to. But I'm going to put both this and my rice in the oven. And when this is gone for an hour, I will take it out. And now you can do this on top of the stove too, actually. You can cover it and do it right on top of the stove. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven with my rice. And let it cook all at the same time. And then when, like I said, I'm gonna wash this pan again. And when it comes out, I want all those juices in there. When it comes out, I will take this out and add a little cornstarch slurry to it and thicken that up and put it back in there and make a nice sticky, it'll be nice sticky yumminess. So we'll be back in an hour. Okay, so now I've got my chicken out. It smells wonderful. These are my sauce in my pan, and I brought it to a boil. I am going to thicken it by making a cornstarch slurry. So to that, I've got cornstarch, and I'm going to start with it's kind of a teaspoon. I do have some beef stock if I make it too thick, and just a splash of cold water. And you want to use cold water for this. And see, it'll be kind of thick and pasty, and you just want to mix it in good. Get it up from the bottom, and you want to make sure you are boiling at a full boil when you add your cornstarch. So in that's going to go. Get a whisk. And start whisking it, and you can see how it tightens up almost immediately. Gets thick. Just let it boil here for a minute as it continues to thicken. Time for my chicken to go back in. And again, I'm going to do what I'm going to put it face down and then flip it because I want that sauce all over that chicken. There we go. Turn that down just a touch. This is a very, very, very good dinner all up. And my husband's over there on the couch going, "Ooh, it smells good." He's ready for it. And there we go. And ta-da, it's done. Let me get my rice out of the oven. There it is. Ta-da! Turn that off and plate it up. I'll be back in a second. And here we are, sitting on top of that rice with a little scallion and some sesame seeds. It's delicious. I hope you try it. I hope to be back on a more regular basis. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Have a good night. Bye.